Welcome back to the Valve Studio. I'm out here in the shop and I've got my Hyatt machine, which is an Openbuilds Workbee1010, and I made some more improvements to it, and I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about those because I know a lot of people have been waiting for this thing to get going, but they also like to follow the progress. So first thing is, instead of putting tracks in the work surface, I'm just going to end up using these little quarter 20 threaded inserts. And so I wrote some G code to actually, I can just put an insert wherever I want in the spoiler board. So I'm going to switch over to the little cam here. So what I'm going to do is, this is the insert here, and it requires a certain diameter hole, and then you thread it in with an Allen wrench or a hex wrench. So I have the program already on my SD card over here. So I'll go ahead and I'm just going to show you what it's going to do first before we actually turn the spindle on and cut one. But this is what it's going to do. It's not going to work. Here we go. So it's going to run down, and it basically works its way down into the hole. And the hole it bores is about 0.7 inches deep, so it doesn't actually go through the spoiler board on the bottom. So basically you go to where you want, and then you just hit the go button here. So I've got it zeroed out, and what you end up doing is it starts at 0, so we got to zero out Z. And I don't have a piece of paper here, so I'm just going to have to eye it. Which is going to be fine. Alright, so there's the 0 on Z. And let me see, I'll go back up here. Get out of the way in case there's a problem. And I'm going to turn on the spindle. So remember, I got spindle power control as well for this. So this is my safety system, and then I just turn off the spindle at the power source. So we're ready to go here. Let me turn on the vac system into auto. And we'll see if this is going to work. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to run down here and hit the quarter 20 insert program, and away we go. Alright, let me move the machine out of the way. And we'll focus down in there. So it cuts this little notch out here so that you can easily feed. Where'd my thing go here? Alright, so you can easily start it by getting the feeder thread in that little notch, and then it'll grip in very well, and then just turn it in, and it goes all the way down, and that hole didn't get cleaned out very well with the vac, so I have to go fix that. And you just thread this down in there, and we're good. I can put that clamp right in that hole wherever I want it. Next thing I did was I mounted a laser on the side here. I found these lasers on Amazon, and they're actually crosshatch lasers, so you can kind of see down here that it puts an X there. And so what I ended up doing was, if we look up here, there's a certain amount of Y distance from the laser location to the spindle center, and then there's if we look from this side, there's going to be an X distance here. So I calculated what that is, and then I added 2 extra additional parameters to Gerbil. And I'm going to have a mechanism where I can zero out this particular point, and then do a G10 L20 workpiece offset. to actually force the spindle into the right position based on this being 0, 0. That's really handy. It's just on all the time. It runs on 5 volts, so I had 5 volts left over on the back of the platform. So these are Rockler vac clamps, and what I ended up doing was, you know, a lot of times my previous design, or you know, part of a future thing was to have the Workbee raise and lower out of the work surface, so I can have a full-size workbench. But I realized that I'm not getting anywhere on this thing. I've been working on this for more than a year, so let's just get to that business, because I should be making speakers, not working on tooling. So I had an extra piece of this 20 by 80 left over, and because when I lowered this down, I ended up putting in more 20 by 40s to hold this part of the spoiler board up. So I had this piece left over. I mounted it vertically, and then I cut a slot in my table here, and these things protrude down. And these are, I got a few of these, but I've mounted these first two, and you run a vacuum on it, and you can kind of see if down here there's kind of a vac system that ties them together. You push your piece up here, and then this is like a little ball valve. Literally, it's a ball, and when you push your piece up against that, it opens up the vacuum, and your workpiece gets stuck to this side here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go turn on my vac pump. All right, well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. This is the Valve Studio.